Anyway, this week we got some stuff about ultrasonic cleaner, carburetor stuff. Anyway, this video was shot back in February, March, so it might look a little wintry if you see outside, or I might be shivering, might be cold. It's warm out now. I mean, check it out, right? Beautiful weather. We're getting some plus 20 heat Celsius, which is 80 something, 3 in the States. Beautiful. Anyway, as usual, let's get into doing some work, and hopefully you can hang around for 45 minutes. I'd appreciate it. And if you haven't, smash that subscribe thing and the thumbs up stuff. And all right, not really a problem. It's not a problem. None of this is a problem. It's just messing around, right? So here's a head bolt, original head bolt from the, it's got some wear and pitting, and you know, it's probably been torqued a few times, but it's just not worth the stress on me of snapping a bolt, then having to take the head back off again, and then probably trying to extract that broken bolt from that block. So what I'm going to do is, you got grade 8 bolts. I can buy these all day long in length of 2.5 inch and 3 inch, but I cannot buy them locally anyway in a 3/4, or what I actually need, a 5/8. So when I measure up, I just make a little go no go gauge, a little feeler, stick that in a hole. That's 3/4 of an inch. So I could probably get away if I could find a 2 3/4 inch bolt, then we'd be just great. Can't find that. I can get 2.5 inch, I can get 3 inch, I cannot get 2 5/8. I could probably get away with 2 3/4. I could probably stick a washer under there and make up the distance. But problem is, you go too far in, and after you're done crushing the gasket, the bolt bottoms out, and then, you know, it's not torqued down, and you always run the risk of maybe snapping a bolt if you torque them up real tight. But probably you'd end up just not torquing that, not crushing that gasket down. So we got to take this 3 inch bolt and make it into a 2 5/8 bolt. All right, so that should give us what we need. 2.69. That's gonna be close enough, as long as it's less than 2 3/4, right? And we're gonna knock this down a little bit when we fix up these threads. All right, so does it fit up? Yep, fits up good. Now, if you want to look at how much you got sticking out through the head and through the gasket, that's a stock one. That's got about a 1/2 inch. And then we put our new bolt in, which is not that one, it's this one. Same thing. So that should be good. I'll tell you what, this ream cuts freaking nice. It's one of the nicest working reams I've had. It should, it costs enough money. But here, check this out. So there's the old valve. See it rattle around? See it bounce around when it hits? And then this is the new one. It's already lapped in. There's there's movement, as much as you would want. And it laps in with a real nice, come on, zoom in. Zoom. Gives you a nice margin when you lap it in too. So that would have been shiny chrome. That dull bit, which is not going to focus for you, so I'm sorry about that, but there, how's that? that dull bit is all lapped in area. That's really nice. That's a nice valve, and it's a heavy valve. I'm pretty surprised actually. Well, we got this Model T carburetor and intake manifold, and it needs some serious cleaning up. I've got the heat on, so I'm gonna be careful moving around. I've got this ultrasonic cleaner. We have it at work. I just brought it home just to try it out here. We use it at work for cleaning greasy parts, bolts and fasteners of all different types, and it seems to work pretty good. So I've got the heat on. It's at about 65 degrees now, Celsius. I don't know how warm it needs to be, but that seems sufficiently warm. So I know that it works by cavitation, which is basically implosions, little mini bubble implosions, which when they're on the surface of metal, on any surface, they touch and they implode. So they have little vacuums inside each bubble, basically, and it basically acts like a little vacuum cleaner, a little mini vacuum cleaner, and it pulls stuff away of whatever it lands on. So that's, cavitation can be destructive, but in this case, we're just using it for cleaning. So I guess we'll take this apart, and I know that it's not going to clean things that are that it can't get to. So basically, I think what you'd want to do is take this completely apart in as many small parts as you could, so you get the best opportunity for cleaning. And yeah, you can clean this by hand. I mean, people have cleaned carburetors. I've cleaned carburetors many times by hand without having the use of an ultrasonic cleaner. Looking at it, the road rushing under my wheels. Looking back at the years going by like so many summer fields. 65, I was 17, burning up on one. I don't know where I'm running now, I'm just running on empty, running into the sun, but I'm running behind. Gotta do what you can just to keep your... I don't know if I can get that main jet out. I think we'll just try soaking it first. Be easier than just stripping it. This choke is pretty stiff and it needs a new rod put in, so I can put a connection to the choke with a spring. I think we'll just try leaving it open like that. See if we can get this elbow off. All right, I mean, aside from maybe taking that throttle assembly out and the choke, I think we'll just leave all that in there and see how it goes. We'll just submerge these. I can pull them out with a spoon or some tongs later. Try not to get my hands into all the chemical, I guess. And we'll do the manifold after we do the large parts, I guess. Does it help having it warm? Probably. I mean, when you wash dishes, it helps having the water warm when you're washing dishes, so. All right, float in there, get everything in there. Let's try it out, turn it on.
Making a living the old hard way, taking and giving my day by day. I did snow and rain and the bright sunshine. dragging a line. My dog Sam eats purple flowers. Ain't got much, but what we got towers.
Right, well that was the 30 minutes I guess it was. 25 minutes, something like that. It's a pretty hot liquid. What do I got? Got something here. Some tongs. Get these out kind of one by one. Give them a rinse. Let's see. Could they do with a little bit of a... Yeah, you know what? Actually, just this paintbrush, kind of, for the float, which was pretty darn black. You could probably have a smaller brush behind here, but anyway, that's pretty darn clean. That's the float. See what else we got. Check the carpet. Oh, check the carpet here. Ooh, that is warm. Man. Oh yeah. Well, it didn't take any rust off, but it's still a little bit gummy. It's cleaner, no doubt about that. And I didn't have to do any scrubbing. I mean, now would be the time to see if I can get that jet out of there, wouldn't it? It definitely didn't take any rust off, but I didn't expect it would. It's a cleaner, it's not a rust dissolver, right? And maybe that seat would also come out at the same time. Give it a try. Won't push it too hard. Oh, that's in there, yeah. It's brass and there's no use. I mean, oh, it actually is turning now. I don't think that would have turned any other way. Other than being warmed up like that, I don't think that would have come out. And I would have just left it and cleaned it out with some torch tip cleaners and been done with it. It's almost out. There's just a bunch of corrosion around the threads there. There you go. There's the main jet. Like I said, I don't think that would have came out. And I would have just left it alone to avoid having to strip all that carbon off, or that brass off there and made a mess of it. So look how clean that came. That's your carburetor manifold bolt, mount bolt. That is super clean. It'll also show if there's any rusty pinholes, but there isn't any. It cleans the brass up nice too. The inside of the bowl, yeah, the inside of the bowl had a bit of rust. It's as good as I would have to do. Look at that. That looks all right. Let's get this guy in here. We can take this off. See how this comes out. That'll fill up pretty nice, I think. All right, final part of the puzzle. Let's have a look. Wow, that is warm. I can get this out of here. Phew, that is clean. Holy moly. Let's just drop it in here. Give it a, it's warm. Man, that metal is warm. I had a green scrubby. Where'd I put it? Did you guys see it? Yeah, we'll skip it for now. Oh, there it is, right here. just a light, wipe off whatever is on there, and that actually, holy cow, that pretty well looks like new. Inside and out. Wow, that's pretty impressive. You can check that out. I really don't have anything else to do to this thing now. I'll give it a buff on the wheel. I bet you this will flash rust though. If we don't dry it off and throw some oil on there. Son of a gun. Yeah, that is pretty impressive. I definitely couldn't get it that clean without getting my hands pretty darn dirty. Interesting how somebody, so I got this out of the ultrasonic cleaner. It made it like brand new. It's pretty crazy. Anyway, interesting how somebody drilled new holes so it would sit level and filled the old holes. Kind of interesting work. Actually, you could mount this carburetor one of two ways. You could mount it this way, which would make the most sense. It would be a downdraft, basically. Or you could mount it back this other old way, with the carb sitting, straight out instead of on an angle, like it would have been, and the carb lower than the top of the block. Options. Well, this is a pretty easy one to diagnose. So, I'll let you guys hear this. I'm cranking it. Hear that? There it is, clunk, clunk, clunk. If on the way down, I can make the noise, because now the crank pin is pulling down on the cap, right? So the piston, the rod is held up. Hear that? Down a bit more. There you go. So that right there is, well, that amount of thump. I'm going to tell you, my guess is, you hear that? I'm going to say my guess would be 4 or 5 thou, maybe even 6 thou. I guess we'll see when I pull it apart. ourselves a shaft, and I made it extra big on one end so that I could have some protrusion here, and then I'll solder on another plate, or I'll tap it for a plate. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet, but I left myself extra anyway, and I left myself extra on the other end. So one thing we got to do yet is remove this one, remove that one out, and drill some holes in this one. Try to get them in the right place. And yeah, I'll have to file some flats first, I think, before we drill the holes. And then I'm gonna have to saw the whole way down there, I think, because that butterfly is in a groove. See that? The groove all the way down that shaft. Yeah. Yeah. These are terrible. They don't hold anything. There we go, got that out. It's like extracting a tooth. Okay, so this little butterfly should come out, and it does. There you go. One butterfly. Butterflies and zebras, moonbeams. There, you look down there, now you can see the split. Oh, look at that, just rolls right out. Easy peasy. But we gotta cut that a long way back, huh? I've got a jeweler's saw, which you can't see. There you go. And maybe with a steady hand, maybe we can do it. Or with lasers. Maybe with lasers. God, I'm trying to think if there'd be any easier way to do it. I can't think of any. No. Anyway. All right, $10,000 question. Does our new shaft fit though? Oh yeah, that's a nice fit. And when we cut it in half, it's going to spread out a bit too. Maybe. What side does it go in? I think this side. It's a little bit loose over there. I could maybe. Yeah, we'll see. It doesn't do anything. It just is for your choke, right? So if it is a little bit loose or whatever, doesn't really matter all that much. But yeah, that's okay. All right. You want to know what I think? I think that they drill this in place. I don't think they put this here and then mark it and then drill the holes. I think, just thinking about this, I would say that what they do is they make the slice. They make the slice in the shaft, like so. They make the slice in the shaft. It makes the slice in the shaft. It puts the lotion in the basket. Okay. They make it, they put it in there, okay? They center it up. Then they drill the holes. That's what I think. I think I was looking at looking for the hardest way to do it. I don't think I needed to do it that way. So, yeah. So that's how I'm going to do it. The easy way. This is it might even be a 3 pair. It's a 2 pair of glasses job. That's a 150 cheater. Another 150 cheater. That's a 3 triple cheater. I can't see without these things. Oh boy, that is some fine work, man. Gotta get this thing started. That's the trick. Oh God. The cable comes down. There we go. Okay. Try to keep it straight. Maybe I need another pair of glasses. Holy crap. Oh, okay, I can tell this is going to be frustrating. Every time. Buy good tools. That's all I can say. Maybe some things don't buy on Amazon. good. Looks good so far. And if it's not, I'll throw this thing across the room and go make a drink. All right. It may not be the prettiest, but we have made a brass cotter pin, a split pin, cotter key. Look at that. You could get some money for that probably. Put that in the brass bucket. Oh, that groove I cut is a little rough looking. I'm not going to, I'm not going to stand up and put it up for grading or anything. But it's holding the choke flap, the butterfly there. So now we just got to drill some holes, and I don't even know what I'm going to attach on the end of this, but at least I know I have more now on the end there than I had before, which was nothing because it was broke off, right? So at least we got a bit more. Or I could probably, you know what I could do is I could put a piece here, an arm here. Why do I keep just moving around with the camera? I could put an arm here on this side where it's split and then pin that. Solder something on there. That's a possibility. Right, we got one hole. It's a little off, but it's going to be okay. This kind of precision is almost beyond me, to be honest with you. do my best. It's going to have to be good enough. I've made a little mark, scratch mark, with a punch. Slowly getting the drill started. And maybe we'll hit the hole. I think that's the problem too, is I'm starting with and this is the smallest drill bit I have. This is the smallest drill bit I have too, so. Okay, still okay. Still all right. Sorta. Whoop. Hopefully that's in the hole. And get that back where it was. Back to where that hole was, like right there. There. Maybe if I can just stick something in there and hold it at the same time as I drill it. Maybe. Well, we're through. The holes do not exactly line up, but the butterfly is good. And we got a hole through both sides of the shaft and through the butterfly. That is some fine work, man. All right, we got holes. They're not perfect, but they're right through. And we just got to tie them off. And the butterfly works, and the holes are a little misaligned at the back, but that doesn't matter. The main thing is that we can tie the shaft and the butterfly together, and that's it. Okay, moving on. You proud of me? Oh. How about now? Just with one set of glasses on. That's not so bad. It's easy to be proud of me now. So I got some TIG wire, or TIG filler wire that I use here. Whatever that thickness is, I don't know, it doesn't matter. It matches the size of my smallest drill bit. It's not super tight, but it doesn't have to be super tight. It's going in there, we're gonna fold it over. So we'll just make a nice square bend and monkey with it until it goes in. Maybe. find out. Okay, so I ended up, that stainless was just, I was never going to be able to bend that on the other side of that butterfly. So I just took a piece of copper, what is this? 12 gauge, I think it was. Yeah, it's 12. And that seems to fit nice. Made a few bends in it, monkeyed around with it a bit, you know how it goes. Just keep messing with it till it fits. And I gotta mess with it a little bit more. But yeah, this brass seems to be just bendy enough. And then I gotta get it in the hole. There we go. Yeah, see? I didn't have to put any hair around it this time. Pull it up tighter. If I pull it, instead of bang it, or I could just drop it on the ground. Okay, let's try that again. Yeah, so anyway, do you think that I found that piece? No, because when things go on the floor, they don't actually exist in this universe anymore. They go to a different place that will return back to this universe in about 3 to 4 months, and then you're like, oh, well, that's where that went. Yeah. I also haven't exactly figured out the process for bending these over, but just carefully, just going to tap them down. The idea is this holds the butterfly, and with the incredible amount of suction that the Model T engine puts through that carburetor, the butterfly doesn't get sucked out of that little shaft and then get gulped up in an intake somewhere. Like I can't tell you that's not going to happen this time, but come on, stay still, would you? Please, camera's on. All right, I think that's probably good. We can, it is a fussy thing that I don't want to get too rammy about. Here we go. That's probably, yeah. That ain't coming out. I don't know what's gonna, I don't think anything will bend that, so good. Butterfly done. I just got to make a shaft now. Ta-da! That's the sound for rum time. The sound for rum time. The sound for rum time. The sound for rum time.
But I believe the love lasts. Friendship always remain. After all, still the same. Take me, say hello. Take me, say hello. Say hello, say hello. Let's go out and paint the town. We could turn the world around. If you say you agree, then that's the way that it'll be. Take me, say hello. Take me, say hello.
All right, you got this baby all strapped up, all hooked up and whatever. Over here, got this baby kick way over. I'm gonna get this thing off, get it off of this guy. I guess I gotta undo these bolts, huh? Lift it up, slide the table, and then there's an engine lift over here somewhere that we've got hooked up. I don't know where it is. Where am I? At this engine lift, so I'm hoping that we're gonna get it on here and it don't tip over. Guess we'll see how that goes. There she goes. Oh, yeah, look at that. in the air. We can move this whole thing out of the way. All right. That's good. Good. Okay. Slip this up a bit. This out. That's why I went with this instead of double leg engine stand. I went with a single, like a three-wheel one, so you could get the stand inside the legs of the lift. See where that becomes a problem sometimes. A little bit more. Oh, there, I think. Good. Right, we're on the stand. I guess we better, before I flip it over, probably should drain this crappy oil out of it, before it all dumps all over the floor when I flip it. And we'll take out these brass check valves and we'll chuck them in the ultrasonic, clean them up, scrape some stuff off here. This whole thing kind of actually has to get pressure washed and cleaned and degreased before we go too far, but I want to have a look at see what's going on with that number one piston and rod. So let's dump this oil out and get those guys off there and get them cleaned up. It's a bit greasy and oily, but not terrible, super terrible. So let's get let's adjust this up and we'll see if we can get this off. Oh boy, a little bit more. Can't remember what size that is even. I think it was like 7/8 or no, more than that. Try not to drop it on my head, Be good. Ooh, that's tight. Oh, shoot. Oh, crappers. All right, let's put you on the stand over here. Watch him over here, see what I'm up to. Holy moly, that is tight. Tight. Holy crap. Put that on there with me. There we go. That should be a nice big mess when I pull that off there. Oh, God. We'll throw that in the ultrasonic too. Ugh, gross, man. That's some thick stuff. Look at that. There's a lot in there. Holy moly. She's a little overfilled. Wow. Is it ever going to stop? Well, at least there's no water, huh? It is black though. Look at it coming. Wow. You guys watching all that? My gosh. We'll drop the phone in there. Any chunks? Probably. I can't feel any. I feel something down there, but it's not a chunk of anything I need to be worried about, I don't think. All right. That is a lot of oil. Somebody really had that full. Holy cow. Wow, man. Let's take these. Let's take these guys off. Chuck these in the ultrasonic. Clean this up a bit and give it a scrape. I got lots and lots of gasket material. I bought it from just end pieces from Flywheel Supply, but the funny thing is I get this going to get some gasket material. And what do I find? But this here, look at this. Open up my box and I just spill all this macaroni on the ground. I obviously don't normally keep the macaroni in the gaskets. I keep it in the kitchen. Top cupboard. How did that mouse move each piece of macaroni under the crawl space, up the wall, into the pasta cabinet, and back here, one by one, moving macaroni? Holy crap.
I see you there in your satin shirt, unfocused eyes on the ceiling, fluorescent lips on a painted face. I think I know what you're feeling. This tightrope just begins to feel like home when the wind comes rising from a distant storm. And all I know is that tonight I might let go of the line. Let go of the
Pretty clean though. 2, 4, 6. That guy, these guys, good. Maybe a little bit of shining up, and I think we'll be good. Can I blow through it? Oh yeah, no problem. When I close it, yep, which is good. All right, so you saw how dirty they were when I took them off the engine. So after the ultrasonic, they're like that. Not bad, pretty clean. That one's been mushed. Anyway, how do you get from there to there? It's not like you need it to be like a fine piece of jewelry, but you'd like to maybe clean it up, put it back in this area. I mean, that would be fine too. There's nothing wrong with that. It's going to be getting road grime and everything else, but it's kind of nice to start off clean. Anyway, what I do is I mean, you can separate this, pull the pin, take that little washer off, pull the spring, and then this whole assembly pulls out. I should get my friend Zach Northway to make a video of how he makes these, but he makes these all day long in his machine there in Iowa. But actually, he gave me a few of them. I don't know where I put them, but great, nice. Lost all the stuff he gives me. Anyway, so how I go from here is I just take it. First, I just wire wheel it. Anyway, that is actually probably good enough for most people. But if you want to shine it up even further, I got a couple of these polishing compounds. One is just regular cleaning, one's for polishing. And this one doesn't have any scratches really to take out. So we'll just use number 6. This one's been turned a bit with pliers. You can see it's pretty marked up. And I even took it off with some pliers. So this is, you know, think about it. It's over 100-year-old brass. It's been around. Give it a clean up. It'd be as thorough as you want. Polish it as much as you want. Realistically, it only really has to just function. It doesn't have to be shiny, but there you go. It's pretty nice, actually. Oil. It's not full of water, so that's positive. Now we can throw a cover on that and flip it upside down and have a look at it. What's that taste? Yeah, 30 weight. Good. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. And hit that subscribe. That'd be really helpful for me. I really appreciate it. Appreciate every time when you guys come and hang out with me. It's a lot of fun. Hopefully it won't be a month till the next one. What is he doing? He's having a crap. See you later.
Running after subway train. Don't forget the pole.